All right, just want to highlight a couple little things on that riders meeting before we continue on. Main 3 points. First and foremost, riders and parents, please make sure your kid knows their moto number in time. We don't want to have to call for them too many times or have anybody miss their moto. So please make sure your kiddo or your big rider knows exactly what moto they're in and when to be up there. We 20 to 25 motos in advance if you can. Second of all, if your kid goes down on the track, please do not the fence and run out here. We have personnel stationed all over the track to help out if a kiddo does hit the ground. We will get to them, and rest assured, parents, if we need you guys, we will call for you. And last and certainly not least, 30-foot rule from the gate to that white line on the first straightaway. You are not allowed to intentionally impede another rider. Same rule applies from the exit of turn 3 all the way to the finish line for those stretches from the gate to the 30-foot line, and from the exit of turn 3 all the way to the finish line. You are not allowed to intentionally impede the progress of another rider. And with that being said, gate ready to roll and dropped. If I could have everybody direct their attention over to the starting gate this time instead of over on the fourth straightaway for tonight's parade lap led by AOT.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Once again, a big thank you to AOT for night out, participating in our team night out here at Blue Springs BMX on a Friday. Once again, we do these few of these team nights every year. The main goal is just to get as much exposure for these teams as we possibly can in exchange for teaching a couple of volunteer roles in the process. All these teams that come out here on a team night, AOT for tonight, they exchange, we do a little swap. They fill a couple of volunteer roles throughout the night. Anywhere they're needed, we plug them in, train them how to do these roles. They learn a couple of volunteer spots. In exchange for that, they get to run a 50-50 in a raffle throughout the entirety of the night, which once again, make sure to head on over there and get that done. Buy in if you can. They got prizes over there and the main 50-50 cash drawing. Half the money goes to the winner, and half the money is going to go to AOT. They'll get half the proceeds off of that. So they get to raise a little bit of money, get a little bit of exposure for the team, and we get a couple of volunteers filled. Been a pretty cool little thing over the last couple of years.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
All right, everybody, gates down on the balance bikes. Got 1 and 2 out here. Looks like we got Addie, Raven, Grayson, Atticus, Lincoln, Uriah, Lincoln, Emilio, Stone, and Kaylon going down through the first straightaway, in and out of turn number 1. 573 and the 731 looking like Grayson and Lincoln out on the 1-2 as we come down through the second straightaway. Once again, for our balance bikes, we're going to go half track the first time, then we'll load them up, and they'll do it all the way around the track in round 2. 764 coming by for the 2 spot, looking like Lincoln Rao. That's going to be Grayson, Lincoln going 1, 2, and 3. And everybody, we are live on Facebook and YouTube. Live on Facebook and YouTube. If you got a relative or a friend or somebody at home who wants to keep up with the racing, we got live feed going right now. We'll be live all night long. Blue Springs BMX on Facebook, Blue Springs BMX on YouTube.
Random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
All right, everybody, once again, as we get balance bikes loaded up and ready to roll, a little reminder for a lot of our sponsors out here tonight. Bikes for the likes of us, Darby and the gang coming over from the Kansas side over there in the parking lot. Head on over there for all your bikes and vendor needs. Believe he's still set up out there going strong. Kona Ice is sitting right out here outside the parking lot. They're still going strong as well. They'll go through a lot of the night. It's a hot night. Sun's going down. It's still pretty warm out here. Good time to go on over there and I'm trying to announce, and I got our stats guy up there in the tower feeding numbers to everybody. Moto 4 out on track for the balance bikes. I don't see a number plate, but I see a name on the back of the jersey. That's pretty pro for a balance bike rider. Got Luca Bloss coming all the way back to the half track mark out of moto number 4. We're still going half track in round number 1. 692 with Grant sitting back to the 2 spot. They're going to go half track on this one and one more moto. Then they're going to go all the way around for moto number 2. But once again, we got bikes for the likes of us out in the parking lot. Kona sitting out there in the parking lot. Zach Hawley over here out on the track. ZH Photography taking some photos as well. Got track sponsors out in full force on a Friday. We got the cicadas out in full force as well. Wouldn't be a summer night. We got sponsors out here. We got cicadas. We got bikes. It's a perfect Friday night. They're saying it's almost over. We got one more lap to go, guys. Give it up for our balance bike riders coming across over here on half track, getting round number 1 finished up. We'll get the cones moved up over here. They'll go the full track for round number 2. Okay, this is probably nothing, but why does the microphone sound more clear when I'm sitting down? It's not cutting out as much.
Attention.
Say I sound good?
Okay,
I'm
riders,
grounded.
random
Ha,
start.
funny.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
The crowd is loud. 728 got a pretty good shot out of the gate as we go down through the first straightaway. Try to get a look right there. Looks like Kaylani with a pretty good shot as we go in and out of turn number 1. Rider on the outside line. Oh, they're going to go side by side. Here comes red, white, and blue on the outside trying to slide on by. Come out of turn number 1. I'm about to have to move from my post here as they come back towards me down through the 3 straightaway. 573 moving on up to the 1 spot. Looking like Grayson taking over the 1 once again. Led through round 1, trying to lead him back in round number 2. Looking like Grayson and Kaylani out on the 1-2. 681 back to the 3 spot. That's Atticus. Oh, 820 and Lincoln Rao sitting back there on the 4-5. Looking like Uriah and Lincoln. Ah, here comes Rao around the outside line moving on up to the 4 spot. I might just sit here. Hi. Still Grayson in the 728 sitting out 1-2. Grayson and Kaylani. 681 bike sitting back to the 3 spot of Atticus. They're going to go 1, 2, 3 down through the 3rd straightaway. We'll give a moment for the incredible music selection. Leave you guys. What do they do in NASCAR? They do like crank it up or they leave it be and let you listen to the cars? We're going to do crank it up, except it's I can only count to 4.
Watch the gate.
Going to go Grayson and Kaylani, the 1-2, looking like Atticus coming on back for the 3 spot out of motor number 1. Coming back at me, 761 bike sitting out front on this one. I don't even think I have to look for a number plate on that one. 754. My eyes are going bad. That's Raven sitting out on the 1 spot. Also, everybody, we got a couple of birthdays recently. One I know is not here. One I believe is. Mr. Kyle Velasquez had a birthday on Wednesday, moved on up into the 16th.
Attention.
Raven taking a look back over that tabletop. Raven going to come on back for the 1 spot.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
All riders head on. Get ready to head on up to staging. Get ready to head on up to staging. Riders, first 25 to 30 motos, head on up there. Have yourself ready to go. All the way back to the line on this one. Waiting on. Oh. Luca Bloss already crossed the line. We already got our 1 spot on this one. 692, believe that's Grant coming on back for the 2 spot. Grant going to grab up a 2, followed up by the 635 bike sitting back to the 3 spot. Maybe. And with this moto, that will conclude the parents' physical education portion of today's programming. Parents, round of applause. Riders, round of applause as we come down through the 3 and 4 straightaway, the last of our balance bikes so far tonight. Oh, look at this. I see a 1Y on my sheet. River's 1 year old coming down through the 3 straightaway, getting nice and loud. These rollers are about 3 times as tall as River is, and we're still rolling down through that 3 straightaway. Best way to do it. That kid's going to be going faster than I ever have by about age 6. You can do it. Little more. There you go. Guys, I know we're a little ways out. Let's get loud for River one more time. Coming down through the 4th straightaway. All smiles. Nothing but joy coming down through that 4th straightaway. Coming all the way back at us. 1 year old out on a balance bike. That's a 4-year age gap to some of those kids. Racing way younger, still out there. Going way fast on a Friday at 1 year old. How many, show of hands, how many people out here were on wheels at 1 year old? Your toys as a kid don't count. That's what I said. Your toys don't count. Your little remote control cars don't count.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
All right. The gate is down on moto number 6, 9-year-old cruiser starting off a Friday night with Bailey, Tucson, Kuhn, and Holt, Holly, and Dotson coming down through the 1st straightaway. Feed her off the pedals for the spear. Holt trying to get back on it. Holly trying to come on by for a 4 spot. But out of turn 1, it's all Bailey and Tucson, Kuhn out on the 1-2. Quads, Dotson sitting back to the 3 spot. Ryan Lambert to staging. Ryan Lambert head on up to staging. Ryan Lambert need you in staging.
Attention.
But down through the 3 straightaway, 2 riders going on out to a main event. Quads on the outside looking in, trying to find a way on up, but it's all Juice Box sitting out on the 1 spot. Tucson Coonan back to the 2. Here comes Dotson putting on a little bit of a charge. Holt trying to find a way on up into the action. Going to go Bailey, Tucson Coonan taking your trend. 7 13-year-old cruisers got Hawthorne, Holt, and Noteboom looking like Holt and Noteboom sitting out on the 1-2. EJ Hawthorne back to the 3 spot as we come down through the 3rd straightaway looking like still Holt, Noteboom all over that outside hip trying to find a way on in. Oh, just about landed on him. Holt got a little bit of airtime, just about landed on Bash. He managed to correct it all the way back down the stripe. Going to make things close as we come all the way back to the line. Going to go Noteboom, Holt, Hawthorne, 1, 2, and 3. One last call for Ryan Lambert up to staging. Ryan Lambert needs you up to staging. Again, going to go Noteboom, Holt, Hawthorne, 2, 3 on that one. 8 is the motor number. 15-year-old cruisers, a little bit bigger, a little bit faster. Got Olson, Harris, and Neal. Got Olson and Neal sitting out on the 1-2. The Golden Peddler back to the 3 spot. Single file as we go in and out of the 3rd and final corner. Low points chasing all the way back at us. Slow-mo trying to find a way on up, but it's all Keller Olson wire to wire on this one. Going to go Olson, Neal, Harris, 1, 2, and 3. All right, as we get things loaded up and ready to go, I know a lot of the parents, I believe it's 500 novice tonight. We're looking at semi-main events in that class. Parents, if you guys have not done that before, your kids are going to race round 1 and 2 from the motos that are on, from the numbers that are on the moto sheet, line up in their chutes. They're going to race it out that way. And then come semi-main events, we'll race that at the end of round number 2. We'll call for it. We'll let them know when to stage up. Have your kids up there, 10, 15 motos, I'd say, before the end of round number 2. And it'll be top 4 move out of your semi. So they'll race round 1, round 2. The riders who transfer out of that will go to a semi-main event, and the top 4 out of each semi will move on to the main. Looking over to 4650 Cruisers, 9's the motor number guy, Wallace, Lambert, Jamison, and Brown. Looking like Corey Brown, and I believe that's Jamison back to the 1-2 as we go in and out of this third and final corner. Lambert back to the 3 spot, taking one rider on out to the main event. Looking like Purple Heart colors of Corey Brown. Wire to wire on this one, going to go Brown for that transfer spot, followed up by Jamison, Lambert, and Wallace.
Ready, watch the gate.
If I can get Kaylani Young to staging. If you were racing class, Kaylani Young on up to staging. 10's the motor number, first rack of 5-hour novice. Got Harves, Brazy, Chidsey, Shingleton, Chitwood, and Casita. Feeder, I believe that's Shingleton on the inside. Feet came off the pedals looking like Brazy and Harves out on the 1-2 as we down through the second straightaway. Key and Brazy leading him around. Got Princess Piper in tow. 229 bike back to the 3 spot. That's Thomas Shingleton coming out of Concordia, taking 2 riders on out of this one straight to a semi-main event. Looking like all Key and Brazy coming out of this one down through the 3 straightaway coming out of Lawrence, Kansas. Going to go Brazy and Harves still out on the 1-2. Shingleton sitting back to the 3 spot trying to find a way on up to a transfer. Harves doing a little bit of shopping in and out of the third and final corner, but they're single file coming all the way back at us. 2 spots up for grabs. Brazy and Harves starting to stretch it on out. That's how it's going to go all the way back to the line. Key and Brazy going to get a spot, and Piper Harves going to get a spot out of motor number 10. Once again, out of these ones, what they say on the motor sheet says 2 and 2 out of this class. 2 riders go out of round number 1 out of each moto. Riders will go out of round number 2 in each moto. So 2 out of each round. Those riders that transfer on out will all have to race a semi-main event, even if you transfer out. Everybody has to race the semi. We'll have 2 of them. They'll be 8 riders full, I believe, and it'll be the top 4 riders out of each semi make an 8-person main.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Gate is down on motor number 11, 5-hour novice guy, Chris Moore, Welch, and Shingleton. Moore got a pretty good shot out of the middle of the pack all the way back at us. Let's see what we got in and out of turn number 1. Shingleton on the inside line, going to try to see if he can move on up with the program, but it's all Weston Moore coming out of turn number 1 out of Bates City, Missouri. 072 bike, that's Declan Kreisa back to the 2 spot. Going to go Moore and Kreisa out on the 1-2. Shingleton back to the 3 spot, followed up by the 80 bike of Carter Wason back to the 4. Once again, 2 spots up for grabs. 2 riders going on out to a semi-main event, looking like Moore and Kreisa still out on the 1-2. River Campbell to staging. If I get River Campbell on up to staging, ASAP, River Campbell to staging. Out of turn number 3, still Moore and Kreisa out on the 1-2. 80 bike sitting back to the 3 spot of Carter Wason, trying to find a way on up to the top 2. No can do in this round. Going to go Moore and Declan Kreisa, 1 and 2, grabbing up your transfer spots out of motor number 11. 12's the motor number, Moore Neon coming out of turn 1, looking like Kilberg and Tarpening sitting down on the 1-2. Got Tarpening, Holly, Dotson, Kilberg, and Connell. Madden Kilberg sitting out front right now. Ruby Tarpening, toe. Holly on the outside looking in, followed up by Adric Connell. They're trying to find a way on up to the top 2, but it's all Kilberg and Tarpening. Ruby got real low in that second corner, keeping it upright, coming all the way back at us. Last call for River Campbell to staging. If you are racing, River Campbell, last call to staging. All the way back at us on this one, looking like Madden Kilberg grabbing up a spot in a semi-main event, and Ruby Tarpening grabbing up a spot in the semi out on motor number 12.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Gate is down on the last rack of 5-hour novice. 13's motor number got Cross, Malone, O'Neill, and Hall. Oh, I'm seeing red as we come in and out of the first corner, looking like 874 sitting out front on this one, looking like Weston Cross coming out of Green Valley. Going to go Cross and Bo Hall back to the 1-2. Got Rosie sitting on the outside looking in. That's Malone back to the 3 spot. Once again, 2 riders going straight on out to a semi-main event. The rest got to come on up for round number 2. Still Cross and Hall sitting out on the 1-2 spot, stretching it out just a little bit as we head down through the third straightaway.
Attention.
Rosie and Darion trying to do a little bit of work, see if they can move on up in the program. Looks like they'll be sticking around for round number 2 as we come all the way back to the line. Weston Cross going to grab up a spot with some authority all the way back at us, along with Case and Bo Hall. Out of 13. 14's number 6-year-old novice couple to these guys as well, looking like Peterson, Connell, Collin, Katie, and Welch. Looking like Edwin Welch, Edge Racing Colors, got a pretty good hole shot as we come down through the second straightaway. Looking like Collin and Katie going side by side as we go in and out of the second corner. Katie had the inside line. Camden tried to come around the outside. Evelyn said, no, sir, I'm going to slam that door shut as we come down through the rhythm section. Still got Welch stretching it way on out. Evelyn Katie sitting in second. She's got the whole wide world coming after her as we head in and out of turn number 3. Oh, inside line opened up. Camden Collin going to slide on up to the 2 spot. 2 riders going on out to a main event as we come all the way back to the line. A little bit of authority for Welch. Edwin going to grab up a spot in the main event, along with Camden Collin going to grab up a spot in the main event out of 14. 15's a moto number. Got Banks, Molman, Jackson, Hall, and Shipley. This is moto number 2 of 6-year-old novice. Looking like River Banks as we come in and out of turn 1. Banks got a pretty good shot along with the 52 ride sitting back to the 2 spot. That's Kinsley Shipley. Good go Banks and Shipley. 1-2. 851 by Carter Jackson sitting back to the 3 spot. But once again, we're only taking 2 riders out to the main event out of this one. Still Banks and Shipley out on the 1-2. Carter and Allen trying to do a little bit of work there back to the 3-4. Roman rounding out the top 5.
Okay, riders. Random start. Riders.
Oh, Hall sliding on up to the 4 spot as we come in and out of the final corner. But Shipley and Banks are stretching it on out, moving on out to a main event. River Banks going to get a spot. And Kinsley Shipley going to get a spot out of 15. 16's the moto number. 7-year-old novice guy, Braxton Rao, Nacho Eulery, Maverick Davis, and Avery Franklin. Oh, Eulery and Franklin out on the 1-2. Rao back to the 3 spot. 270 round out of the top 4 of Maverick Davis. Single file as we head into turn number 2. Here comes Rao sliding on up in the program. Rao going to take away that 2 spot from Franklin as we come down through the 3 straightaway. Still Nacho Eulery sitting out on the 1 spot. Guy, Braxton Rao back to the 2 spot. Here comes Avery Franklin trying to find a way on up the inside line as we go in and out of the 3rd and final corner. Might have had a move, didn't quite pull the trigger on it. Franklin sliding on back to the 3. Drag race to the stripe. 1 rider going on out to a main event. Franklin going to slide on by for the 2 spot, it looks like. Nobody's catching Nacho Eulery. Beckham grabbing up a spot in a main event out of motor number 16. 17's the motor number. 8-year-old novice got Hodges, Molman, Tarpening, Miracle, Tarpening, Casita, and Lawrence. Looking like Axel Miracle sitting out on the 1 spot, followed up by Johnny Molman and the 698 Hunter Hodges. They're out on the 1, 2, 3. 3 riders going on out to a main event. Got Ryan Tarpening and Holly Casita round out the 4, 5. Our moves being made. Molman sliding on back to the 3 spot. Hodges moving on up to the 2. Not going to matter at the end of the day. They go 1, 2, 3. They're all grabbing up transfer spots. Axel Miracle going to get a spot. Hunter Hodges going to get a spot along with Johnny Molman. 18's the motor number. 9-year-old novice. God, Style, Lavano, Carson, Parker, Wason, Belcher, Welch, and Hall. Oh, Colton Style was sitting out on the 1 spot. Here comes Nokasi Belcher around the outside line. Belcher going to try to slide on up to the 1 spot. Style going to slam that door shut. Gosh, Style, Belcher out on the 1, 2. Adeline Hall back to the 3 spot. Kyson Parker and Salamano trying to find a way on into a main event. 3 riders going on out of this one. Parker on the 4 spot trying to do some hunting. Hall trying to move on up to the 2 spot. Not quite going to have enough to get by Belcher. All the way back out. That's 221 coming all the way back to the line. Colton Style going to get a spot in the main event along with Nokasi Belcher and Adeline Hall. '19's the motor number. 10-year-old novice. Total points racing on this one. Guy Collier, Schullenberg, and Team Money Stewart. Trenton Stewart leading them in and out of the second corner, stretching it on now. We're total points, single file as we come out of the second corner. Got Stewart, Schullenberg out on the 1, 2, 382 back to the 3 spot. That's Elias Collier coming out of Blue Springs. They'll be racing for low points all night long. Every spot's going to count all the way back out. As Team Money going to grab up some low points out of round number 1. Stewart going to grab up a 1 spot. Looking like Madeline Schullenberg coming out of Odessa going to come home for the 2 spot. Collier going to get the 3. Out of 19, 20's a motor number. Got Franklin, Campbell, Malone, Eulery, Biondi, and Nixon. 2 riders going on out of the first rack of 11-year-old novice. Got Campbell and Eulery sitting out on the 1 spot. Franklin and Biondi on the 3-4 trying to find a way on into a main event. But it's all Lily Campbell as we come down through the 3 straightaway. Campbell got a whole lot of Eulery over that back mirror. Here comes Franklin on the outside trying to find a way on up to a 2 spot. All the way back at us. Looks like we're going to have a drag race for the 2, but all the way back to the line. Bicycle Shack colors of Campbell. Going to go wire to wire on this one. Lily Campbell going to get a spot. And Landon Eulery going to get a spot out of motor number 20. 21's the motor number. More 11-year-old novice. Got Johnson, Pope, King, E-Money, Carlton, and the Hunter or Rogers. Got Dylan King in the 838 out on the 1-2. That's the Hunter Rogers. Oh, New Rider trying to slide on up to the 2 spot. Rogers going to hold on to it. 654 trying to move on up. Isaac Pope. E-Money trying to find a way on in as well. Only 2 spots up for grabs, and 4 riders are fighting for it as we go in and out of the 3rd and final corner. Still got King and Rogers sitting out on the 1-2. Here comes Pope pulling up alongside. Got a drag race all the way back to the stripe. Little bobble out of Pope going to keep him out of a main event for now. Dylan King going to get a spot, and the Hunter or Rogers going to get a spot out of 21. 22 is the motor number. 12-year-old novice. Got Lopez DeWard, the Mav Conklin, Riley King, Jackson Lester, and Connor Arnold. King sitting out front on this one as we come down through the 3 straightaway. New Rider sliding on up to the 2 spot. Looks like the 244, Jackson Lester. That's how it's going to go. Got King and Lester out on the 1-2. Lopez DeWard and Arnold trying to find a way on into a main event along with Conklin. But as we come all the way down through the 4 straightaway, 2 spots up for grabs. Riley King going to get a spot, and Jackson Lester going to get a spot out of 22. 23 is the motor number. More 13-year-old novice, not more of them. Got Malone, Nixon, Skaggs, Morgan, Harris, and Benici. Words are hard today. Got Bentley Morgan sitting out on the 1 spot. Corbin Skaggs back to the 2. Believe that's Elijah Nixon back to the 3 spot. We're taking 2 riders on out to a main event. Nixon and Harris trying to do a little bit of work to move on up to the top 2. Morgan trying to stretch it on out. Skaggs hanging close. A little bit of authority out of the AOT colors on the AOT team night. All the way back to me. See who gets those 2 spots. Bentley Morgan looking like he's going to get a spot. Nixon putting on a charge. Not quite enough to get by Corbin Skaggs. He's going to get that 2nd spot out of 23. Where's the moto number? 24. Got 14-year-old novice. Total points racing on this one. Got Schlotzauer, Laney, and Wise. Got Adam Wise sitting out on the 1 spot right now, followed up by Laney and Schlotzauer. Here comes Schlotzauer on the inside line, trying to find a way by as we go in and out of turn number 2. Schlotzauer going to slide up to the 2 spot. Laney tried to high-low. They're going to take a spill out of this 2nd corner. Going to get them both picked on up and rolling. Wise coming on by with the 1 spot. Schlotzauer's back up on his feet. Give him a hand. Little bit of aggressive racing out of the 14 novice. Didn't quite pan out for those 2 as we come all the way back through the line. Adam Wise going to grab up a 1 spot and some low points. Schlotzauer going to come on home for a 2, getting Mr. Laney checked out over here out of turn number 2. Helmet is off.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Gate is down on motor number 25, 17 and 20-year-old novice guy, Carcione, Hunt, Walter, and Pope. Total points racing on this one as we come in and out of turn number 1. 867 sitting out on the 1 spot. Luke Pope coming out of Excelsior Springs. Got the 868 of Joe Walter to the 2 spot. Going to leave Hunter Carcione back to the 3. Single file as we come in and out of the 2nd corner. Still got Pope and Walter out on the 1-2. Carcione to the 3 spot. They're going to go single file through the 3 straightaway.
Okay, riders, random start.
These numbers are all close. Are we trying it out tonight, all 3 of them? All 3 of them came together. They're all racing each other on a Friday night all the way back at me. Luke Pope going to grab up some low points for round number 1. Walter going to grab up a 2. Carcione for a 3. 26 in motor number, 26, 35-year-old nervous guy. Chidsey, Collier, and Daly looking like 5'11" and Cody Chidsey coming out of Olathe, leading him down through the 2 straightaway. 381 bike. That's Samantha Daly sitting back to the 2 spot. Chidsey trying to make a move on up. Chidsey pulled a little break. Didn't want to blast anybody over that 2nd corner.
Okay, riders, random start.
Samantha Daly going to move on up to the 2 spot. Is that an Oreo jersey?
The gate.
That is an Oreo jersey sitting in second place. All the way back at me looking like Chidsey and Daly out on the 1-2. That's how it's going to go all the way back to the line. Chidsey for the 1 spot. Daly for a 2. Collier for a 3. 27, the motor number 41 to 45-year-old nervous guy. Yellowstone, Dutton, Dominguez, and Connell looking like. Devin Connell sitting out on the 1 spot right now. Little bobble, but he stayed on top of it. Got Dominguez and Yellowstone, Dutton back to the 3 spot. His name's Greg on the sheet. I'm calling him John every single time he races. Nobody can tell me otherwise. All the way back at me. Total points for the old guys. All the way back at me looking like Devin Connell going to grab up a 1 spot. Jonas Dominguez for a 2. Dutton for a 3 out of motor number 27. 20 to motor number 6-year-old intermediates. Got Austin Miller, Seth Daly, and Eli Tonga looking like Tonga, Miller, Daly, and that as we go down through the second straightaway. Eli Tonga trying to stretch it out just a little bit. Miller and Daly doing some battle back to the 2-3.
Attention.
Single file as we come in and out of this second corner.
Watch the gate.
Daly pulling a little high-low action out of turn number 3. Going to slam that door shut as we come all the way back to the line. Tonga going to wire-to-wire on this one, grab up a low point. Daly going to grab up a deuce. Miller for a 3. 29's the motor number, 7-year-old intermediates. Guy, Werlich, Hall, and Metters. Looking like Emmett Hall and Hunter Metters out on the 1. Ooh, that's Werlich to the 2 spot. I'm sorry. Metters back to the 3. Total points on this one. They're going to do it all night long. Got Hall and Werlich out on the 1-2. 164 ride back to the 3 spot of Metters.
Ready.
Single file as we come in and out of this third corner. Werlich trying to hang nice and close. A little bit of airtime out of Hall. All the way back to the line. Hall going to grab up a 1 spot. Werlich for a 2. Metters for a 3 out of 29. 30 is the motor number. 9 intermediates. Got Dotson, Campbell, Unistall, Hall, Watson, Dotson, Hale, and Penny. Looking like Penny, Dotson, Hall sitting out on the 1-2-3. Unistall back to the 4 spot. Taking 3 on out to a main event out of this one. Got the state one of Sawyer Penny for the Edge Racing Crew sitting out on the 1 spot.
Okay, riders.
Is Bayo riding for Haro, or did I miss something? I think it's just a cool jersey. All the way back out, it's going to go Penny, Dotson, Hall sitting out on the 1-2-3, looking at some transfer spots. Unistall not quite going to get close enough. Going to go Penny, Dotson, Hall for your transfer spots. 31 is the motor number. 10 intermediates. Got Harves, Duval, Luce, and Olsen. Big Max sitting out on the 1 spot. Harves trying to move on up to a 2. Little bobble out of Duval. Going to leave that door open. Creighton Harves moving on up to a 1 spot. All the way back at us through the 3 straightaway. We're taking 1 on out to a main event. Big Mac going to trying to find a way back on up. Got Olsen and Luce rounding out the top 3 and 4. Big Mac trying to get a charge down through the 4th straightaway. Might have a drag race on all the way back at us. 45 ride for the Edge Racing Crew. All the way back to the line. Harves going to hold on for the 1 spot and the transfer out of 31. 32, the motor number. 11 intermediates. Got Lamano, Barker, Morgan, Curley, Lakey, Conklin, and Davidson. Got Chase Mo Curley sitting out on the 1 spot. Got Barker and Davidson doing a little battle back to the 2-3. Davidson going to bobble a little bit, slide on up to a 2 spot. All the way back at it. Getting Broen Morgan picked up over there in turn number 1. Broen's back up on his feet. Whole shot Barker trying to get on the outside hit, but Davidson, we're taking 3 on out to a main event out of this one. Lamano on the outside looking in, trying to find a way on up in the program. Going to go Curley. Barker coming on by for the 2 spot. Davidson going to grab up that 3rd and final transfer spot out of 32. Broen's back up on his feet. Didn't see the action right there. I'm sure everybody else did. I just know I went down through the 3 straightaway and started looking over my numbers. I said, hold on, he's not in front? I'm like, what?
Attention.
Oh, he's going to throw a little style down the 3 straightaway back at us. He's all good.
Ready. Watch the gate.
Gate is down on motor number 33. 12-year-old intermediate. Scott Laredo Jr., Velasquez, A.J. Johnson, Derek Wise, London Johnson, and the Gladiator at Gunnar Nash. Velasquez sitting out on the 1 spot. Got the expert rider sitting back to the 2 spot. That's Laredo Jr. Little Heck going to try to find his way on up to a 1 spot as we come down through the 2 straightaway. 2 riders going on out to a main event. A.J. Johnson and Derek Wise sitting on the 3-4, trying to find a way on up. Laredo doing a little bit of shopping on Velasquez, see if he can find a way on by that back wheel. A little bit of racecraft down through the 3 straightaway. Rock 1 and the 38 sitting out on the 1-2 all the way back at us. Velasquez trying to hold off a hard charge in Laredo Jr. all the way back at us. 2 spots up for grabs. That's how it's going to go. Laredo going to get a spot and Velasquez out of 33. 34 is the motor number. 13 intermediates. Getting bigger, getting faster. Got spin faster. Holt, Couts. Lost a couple. Looks like Lauer's down. Neon Noah's down. And Couts is down. Getting him picked back up. Kit Kat leading him down through the 1-2 straightaway. In and out of turn number 2. Got Holt, Couts, Penny, Odell, Lauer, Spinks, and Belgrave. Got Holt and Belgrave sitting out on the 1-2. Spinks back to the 3 spot, followed up by Archer. Penny back to the 4. 3 spots up for grabs. Penny going to try to do a little bit of hunting, see if he can move on up to a top 3 all the way back at us. Freaky Fast Colors of Kit Kat going to come all the way back to the line. Oh, she's not called that anymore. Holt going to get a spot. Jabril Belgrave going to get a spot. And Bo Spinks going to get a spot. Out of 34, getting them picked on up. Lauer's coming out of turn number 3. Believe Neon Noah got back up on his feet. Now they're both down there. Patrick and Noah down there getting them checked on out. Why do I keep missing all the action, guys? Because I'm on the mic. I'm doing my job. I don't get to watch the racing. Make a big deal out of seeing the racing, and I'm not even seeing the racing. Is this true? Patrick's back on his bike, going to ride it out through the second straightaway, give him a hand. I didn't see it. Guessing we were battling in turn 1. Elbow hits another. Not everybody can come out if they go in tight. Get Noah back up to his feet. Get loud. Blue Springs BMX. Couts is rolling through the 3 straightaway. Noah's back up on his feet. Helmet's going on. We finishing out the lap. That's the only way to do it. You tell me to shut up? Be polite, guys. He said I would never. We got a bike malfunction. Flat tire.
Attention.
What a moto out of the 13 intermediates. 35 in the gate, 15 I.
Riders ready. Watch the gate.
Gate is down on the 15 intermediates. Got Jack, poke up Harrison Green. Pretty good shot out of Cameron Jack on the outside line. Looking like Golden Peddler back to the 2 spot. Poke up back to the 3. The Maverick back to the 4 spot, all the way back down the 2 straightaway. That's how it's going to go. Got Jack Harris poke up on the 1, 2, 3. Hat hanging off the left hip for Cameron Jack as we come in and out of turn number 2. Coming out of Lee Summit, Missouri. Going to go Jack and Harris out on the 1, 2 as we go down through the rhythm section. We're taking one rider on out to a main event out of this one. Harris trying to find a way on up. Jack sitting on the 1 spot. He's got to stop getting fancy. Got a charge coming out of Harris all the way back to the line. We'll wait for scoring on that one. 36, the motor number 1720 intermediates. Got Blake Velasquez, Gadke, and Kelly looking like Super Cooper and the birthday boy Kyle Velasquez sitting out on the 1, 2. Velasquez had a birthday on Wednesday. I'm going to call him the birthday boy anyways. Got Gadke and Blake sitting out on the 3, 4 as we go down through the 2 straightaway.
Attention.
Velasquez pulling up alongside through the rhythm section. Kelly trying to hold on to the 1 spot. Kyle Velasquez is going to go right around the outside as we come all the way back at us. 1 spot up for grabs. Kelly grabbed up the whole shot, wasn't quite able to grab up the transfer all the way back at us. Edge Racing Colors of Velasquez going to grab up the transfer spot out of 36. Out of motor number 35, transfer spot on that one was the Golden Peddler Dakota Harris. Harris grabbing up the transfer spot out of 35. 37's the motor number, 12-year-old girls experts. Got Brown,
Attention.
Robinette, and Campbell. Got Riley Brown for the Bicycle Shack sitting out front right now. Super Sophia Campbell sitting right in the hip pocket as we go through that third and final corner. Livy Love Robinette back to the 3 spot. Total points racing on this one. They're going to do it like this all night long. Low point out of round number 1 going to go to Fly Rye Brown. Campbell for a 2 spot. Robinette for a 3. Welcome to the expert class. 38's the motor number 7-year-old experts. Got Holly Shingleton and Luce. Asher Luce for the Freaky Fast Racing Crew coming out of Kearney, Missouri. Sitting out front on this one. Got Eula Shingleton and Elijah Holly rounding out the top 3.
Attention.
Single file as we go down through the rhythm section. Once again, racing for total points on a Friday night. Every spot's going to count as they come all the way back home.
Watch the gate.
Shingleton trying to reel in a little closer, but he doesn't have a whole lot for the State 1 of Freaky Fast. Luce going to grab up a 1 spot. Shingleton for a 2. Holly for a 3. 39's the motor number. 8-year-old experts got T-Bone Moorhead, Taco Bell Aldrich, and the freight train of Bowie Bicycle Shack colors of Jackson Bowie sitting out on the 1 spot. Talk about Aldrich back to the 2 spot. T-Bone back to the 3. Single file as we come in and out of the second corner. Still Bowie stretching it on out. Aldrich trying to hang nice and close. Moorhead trying to get on by Aldrich. All kinds of line work as we go in and out of the third and final corner. He saw a gap. He took it. Moorhead going to slide on up to the 2 spot. Aldrich going to pull up on the inside line. We're going to have a drag race all the way back to the stripe for the 2 spot. But it's all Bowie for the 1. T-Bone going to hold on for the 2. Aldrich for a 3. 40's the moto number. Looking like 9-year-old Experts got Jackman and Holt out on the 1-2. Got Kent, Tucson, Coonan, Holt, Jackman, and Bailey. Looking like Jackman and Holt sitting out on the 1-2. Kent, Bailey, Tucson, Coonan rounding out the top 5. My goodness, this is a stack moto. Here comes Kent on the inside line. Kent going to come around, slam that door shut on Holt. Not quite going to lock it down as we go in and out of the third and final corner. Holt moved up to the 2 spot. Got the middle split on him by 2 of them. All the way back out. It's Jackman going to grab up a spot in the main event. And the 3 ride of Juice Box Arrow Bailey. That was stacked if I've ever seen it. 41's the motor number, 10-year-old Experts guy. Gavin, the G-Man Campbell, Davidson, and Bash Noteboom. Davidson had the 2 spot. Noteboom going to see that inside line open. Going to move right on up to a 1 spot as we come all the way back through the rhythm section. At Astra on Edge, Racing Colors going to go 1-2 side by side as we go in and out of the third and final corner. Davidson going to pull a little high-low, see if he can get up alongside Noteboom all the way back to the line. Drag race down the last straightaway. We know how that plays out for Noteboom. He's going to grab up a 1 spot. Going to go Noteboom, Davidson, Campbell, 1, 2, and 3. I get to watch that all night. Sweet. 42 is the motor number 14X. Got Kurtz, Wiseman, Hingle, Hattie, and Neal. Orange Crusher, Hingle, and Comeback Kid Kurtz out on the 1-2. Wiseman, Hattie, Neal going to round out the top 5 as we go down through the rhythm section. 2 riders going on out to a main event out of this one. Looking like the Orange Crusher and the Comeback Kid out 1-2. Wiseman pulling up alongside. Wise Guy going to try to find a way on in. Going to go Hingle and Kurtz for your transfer spots out of 42. Penny grabbed up a whole shot. Watson going to try to find a whole lot of elbow love in turn number 1. Not quite going to make it work. Looks like he's going to slide on back to a 3 spot. Got Penny, Olsen, Watson in that order as we come out of turn number 1. 43 is the motor number for the 15 Experts. Watson going to shut it on down, play a little bit of track work down through the 3 straightaway, but it's all Edge Racing Colors with Penny sitting down on the 1 spot. Just about wire to wire. Might have dropped back for a second there in turn number 1. Going to go Penny, Olsen, Watson, 1, 2, and 3. 44 is number 17 to 20 Experts. Gosh, Sugar Sean, Matt, Dylan Blankenship, and Jordan Blake. Gosh, Sugar Sean, Blankenship, and Blake out on the 1, 2, 3 as we go down through the 3 straightaway. Madden, Blankenship trying to hold off a hard charge, and Bubba Blake as we go down in and out of turn number 3. Little double manual action out of Blake there. He said, if I'm being third, I'm going to look cool doing it. All the way back out. It's on 2 wheels. Colors of Madden going to grab up a 1 spot on a total points moto. Blankenship coming back home for a 2 spot out of Topeka, Kansas. Blake for a 3. 45 is the motor number. Spikes. This one rep. Gaspaboda, Novotny, Nash. Gaspaboda and Nash sitting out 1-2. Novotny on back to the 3 spot as we go down through the 3rd straightaway. Nash hanging real close as we come in and out of turn number 3 all the way back at us. Gaspaboda and Nash out on the 1-2. Total points on this one. They're going to go all night long. All the way back at us. Good charge out of Nash. Not quite going to have enough to catch Spike. All the way back to the line. Going to go Spaboda, Nash, Novotny, 1, 2, and 3. 46, last moto of the night. Got 46, 50-year-old Sketchbird Scott, Corey Brown, Grandma Mary Wallace, and Skeeter Keith Woolery. Got Brown and Woolery out on the 1-2. Grandma Mary back to the 3 spot.
Attention.
In and out of turn number 3, all the way back to the line. Purple Heart Racing Colors of Corey Brown going to grab up a 1 spot on a total points moto. Skeeter Woolery for the Bicycle Shack going to grab up the 2 spot, and Bikes for the likes of us over there in the parking lot. Mary Wallace going to grab up a 3. That'll do it for round number 1, everybody. Go on over to concessions, get yourself something to eat, something to drink. Grill's still fired up. We're still getting food rolling on a Friday. Kona Ice is still parked out there. They got the lights going now. They're going to be out here most of the evening. Believe Bikes for the likes of us is still out there as well. I'm seeing lights over on that side. Go say hi to Darby. Go say hi to Kona Ice. AOT's still over there. Believe they're going to be doing their raffle until the end of 2nd round if I had to guess. Riders, if you are out there on the Strider track, you better have memberships, helmets, and you better not be on a pedal bike.
Welcome.
Riders, that balance bike track is for kids on Striders with memberships and with helmets. If you do not have a helmet or a membership on a balance bike, please get off the track kindly. All right, everybody. We got a couple of first 5 awards to give away. Got an intermediate move up to give away. Peace of mind. All right, first 5 award on out to the first straightaway. If I could get Raven Cates on out to the first straightaway, Raven Cates on out to the first straightaway. First 5 awards for anybody not familiar means a rider got a membership, chose Blue Springs BMX as their home track, and proceeded to race 5 single-point races out here. We give away plaques for every rider to do so. Once again, Raven Cates on out to the first straightaway. We'll call up the next one as well. Right. Yeah, it's a cool little way to do it. A lot of these littler kids don't get these awards until they win 10, until they move on up to the intermediate class. So it's kind of cool to get an award this early on. If I could also have Declan Kreisa come on out to the first straightaway. Raven Cates and Declan Kreisa come on out to the first straightaway for your first 5 award. Declan? I gotcha. You're all good. Hey, kids, back on up off the hill for me. All right, once again, give a hand to Declan moving up on the first 5 award. Got his first 5 races on out here is Blue Springs BMX. Raven Cates as well. Raven Cates, if you could come on out to the first straightaway. Next up, we'll call them out for their first 5 award. Weston Moore, come on out to the first straightaway. Weston Moore, come on out to the first straightaway. No, he's out here. He just won his round number 1. There he is. And while we're getting our photo, don't come out just yet. Next one will be River Campbell. River Campbell will be up next. All right, put your hands together for Weston getting his first 5 award. Next up, River Campbell, come on out to the first straightaway. River Campbell, come on out to the first straightaway. I'll get to you. I'll get to you. He's like, I'm ready, man. Is River coming? Lachlan said, don't go without her yet. She's coming. What are you doing, Raven? you. I'm not used to seeing you without gear on. I barely recognized you. Here, stand over there with Ben. We'll get a picture for you. All right. Hands together on that one as well. Raven Kate's getting her first 5 award out here at Blue Springs BMX. Believe she did all 5 on a Strider. Pretty cool as well. Been going way fast on the bounce bike recently. River Campbell, come on out. Next one we'll call up. I know he's sitting out there ready. Braxton Rao, come on out to the first straightaway. Braxton Rao, come on out to the first straightaway. Put your hands together for this one. River's on the playground. It's all good. Those of you parents know the struggle of trying to get a kid off the playground. Come get an award. All right, hands together for Braxton Rao getting his first 5 award. Got trying to wrangle River Campbell over from the park. In the meantime, we'll call out our intermediate award. Got 1 move-up award tonight. This rider came out here as a novice, raced 10 races, and finished first place in 10 of them, moving on up to the intermediate class. Mr. Ryan Lammer, come on out to the first straightaway. Ryan Lammer, come on out to the first straightaway. Oh, and we got River, 2 for 1. Perfect. All right. In the meantime, riders head on up to staging. Riders head on up to staging. If you're in those first 25 to 30 motos, head on out there and have yourself ready to go with ample time. We don't want anybody to miss their moto. River, you got to look at me. I got the camera. All right, River Campbell, first 5 race award. In the meantime, Ryan Lambert over here for an intermediate move-up award. In the words of Kendall, Killer Olson, 2 staging. I see him riding. Killer Olson, 2 staging.
Okay, riders, random start.
I got to stop being so dumb on the mic before I lose my job. Gate is down to motor number 6, 9-year-old Cruisers guy. Braden the Spear holds Elijah Holly and Bea Quads Dotson. Not total points on this one. You're taking 2 riders on out to a main event. Holly trying to find a way on in, looking like the Spear and Quads out on the 1-2. That's Holton Dotson as we go in and out of turn number 2. Freaky Fast Colors of Braden Holt still sitting out on the 1 spot. Got a whole lot of Bea Dotson in the rearview mirror. Bea trying to find a way on by. Elijah Holly for the Bicycle Shack crew trying to find a way to move on up to the top 2, but they're running away and stretching it out as we come in and out of that third and final corner. All the way back at us on the state 2 for the Freaky Fast crew. A little bit of style all the way back to the line. Holt going to get a spot in the main event along with Quads Dotson. Out of motor number 6. Motor number 7, a little bit bigger, a little bit faster. 13 Cruisers got Hawthorne, Holt, and Noteboom. Oh, Hawthorne sitting out front right now by Noteboom and Holt. Noteboom trying to find a way on by. Freaky Fast Colors of Hawthorne trying to hold on to it as we come all the way down through the 3 straightaway. Hawthorne had it for a second. Bash said, what's the, Hawthorne trying to find a way on up. A little bit of slide action in turn number 3. Wasn't quite able to find his way on by. Bash said, oh, you almost had it. All the way back at me. Going to go Noteboom, Hawthorne, Holt, 1, 2, and 3. Eight is motor number 15-year-old Cruisers got Olson, the Golden Peddler Harris, and Slow-Mo Neal. Got Olson sitting out on the 1 spot, followed by Slow-Mo Neal and the Golden Peddler Harris out 1, 2, and 3 as we go in and out of turn number 3. Little bit of airtime out of Neal, not quite close enough to give some charge to Olson all the way back down the stripe. Total points racing on this one. Olson grabbed up an ace in round number 1. Going to grab it again in round number 2. Once again, going to go Olson, Neal, Harris, 1, 2, and 3 out of motor number 8. 9 is the motor number 46. 46 to 50-year-old Cruisers got Grandma Ryan Lambert and Jameson. Lambert trying to find a way on by. Jameson holding on to the 1 spot. That's how they're going to go out of turn number 2. Looking like Jameson, Lambert, Wallace, 1, 2, and 3. 2 riders going on out to a main event. Lambert trying to find a way on by the inside line. Pulled a little bit of brake. Said, I don't want to shoot anybody up and over tonight. We'll pull it on back all the way back to the line. We're both going to a main event all the way back at us. Look at it. Going to go Jameson for a 1 spot. Lambert for a 2. They're going to grab up your transfers out of motor number 9. 10 is the motor number 5 and under novice, taking 2 riders on out of the semi-main event to this one. Got Chidsey, Shingleton, Chitwood, and Casita. Believe we got Thomas Shingleton sitting out front right now. 373 bike, believe that's sitting on the 2 spot looking like Rhett Chitwood. Yep, going to go Shingleton and Chitwood out on the 1, 2. Caliana, foot is off the pedals for Chidsey. Going to get back on it nice and quick. Caliana and Austin trying to find a way on up into the top 2. We're only taking 2 riders on out to a semi-main event tonight. The rest are packing it up and heading home for the evening. Down through the 3 straightaway right now, still Shingleton, Chitwood, 1, 2. Chidsey back to the 3 spot. Caliana right there on the back wheel trying to find a way on by Red as we go in and out of this third and final corner. 2 going on out to a main event. Thomas stretching it way on out all the way back to the line. Chitwood trying to hold off the whole wide world down through the 4th straightaway, looking like Thomas Shingleton going to get a spot in the semi-main event. Casita making moves all the way back at me. I believe Rhett Chitwood hold on for that second and final spot in a 5 and under novice semi-main event. 11's the moto number, more 5 and under novice guy, Wason, Welch, and Shingleton. 2 riders going on out to a semi-main event out of the looking like Mackie Welch sitting out front of the 80 bike of Carter Wason out on the 1, 2. Enoch Shingleton on the outside looking in, trying to find a way on up. Tires are skidding for the 2 spot right there. Carter was sliding a little bit, going to open the door for Enoch Shingleton right back here on the 3 spot. Those 2, 3 going to go nice and tight down in and out of turn number 3, trying to find a way on up into a semi-main event is Shingleton. Inside line, going to tuck on back for the 3 spot. We're going to have a drag race all the way back to the stripe. Maggie Welch sitting down on the 1 spot right now, going to grab up 1 spot in a semi-main event all the way back at me. Pretty good charge out of Wason all the way back at me, looking like Welch and Wason going to grab up your transfer spots into a semi-main event out of moto number 11. 12 is a moto number, more 5 and under novice, got Holly, Dotson, and Connell. Looking like Adrian Connell sitting out front right now, followed up by Zoe Holly. Got Blake Dotson for the On Two Wheels crew. Does that say 2? Oh, I talked to her last week. We're 2 years old out here on a pedal bike on a Friday night. How wild is that? Got Connell and Holly out on the 1, 2, down through the 3 straightaway, but the story's all about Blake Dotson right now. Give her a hand going through turn number 2. 2 years old out on a pedal bike. Keeping it rubber side down, looking nice and pro down through the 3 straightaway. You got it. Didn't even need my help. Look at that. 2 spots in a semi coming all the way back to the line. Adric Connell going to lead him wire to wire all the way back at me. Adric going to get a spot, and Zoe Holly going to get a spot out of motor number 12. 13's the number, last rack of 5 and under novice. Looks like we got a boat ride coming all the way back at us, looking like Darion and Rosie sitting out on the 1-2. That's how it's going to go. We got 2 riders out here, 2 riders going to a semi-main event. That's what you call a boat ride, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Rosie's still not satisfied. Going to try to move on up to the 1 spot. Little white line action in turn number 1. Going to slide on up to the 1 spot. Darion back to the 2. Going to try to find a way on by. They don't know they're moving on. They said, I want to win anyways. Down through the 3 straightaway. Still got Rosie and Darion out running 1 and 2. They're both going to go on out to a semi-main event out of motor number 13.
Riders ready. Watch the gate.
As we come on back to the line, Rosie and Darion going to get spots in a semi-main event. And once again, everybody, semi-main events will be run at the end of round number 2. At the end of this round, we will run semi-main events. I'll call for it. Try to call for it 10 to 15 motos before. Be up there with plenty of time. I try to head up there by about motor number 30 if you can. Have yourself ready to go. 14's motor number 6-year-old novice. Got Evelyn Katie sitting out front right now. Peterson back to the 2 spot. Quinn Connell back to the 3. We're taking 2 riders on out to a main event out of this one. Quinn trying to find a way on up to the top 2 spots. We're single file in and out of the 3rd and final corner.
Watch the gate.
All the way back at me on the 364, going real fast is Evelyn Katie coming out of Olathe, Kansas. Evelyn going to get a spot in the main event, and Brody Peterson going to get a spot in the main event out of motor number 14. 15's motor number, more 6-year-old novice. Got Alan Molman, Carter Jackson, and Roman Hall. Looking like Molman and Jackson out on the 1-2. Hall back to the 3 as we come down through the 2nd straightaway. 2 spots up for grabs in a main event once again. Here comes Carter Jackson on the inside. Foot is off the pedals. Foot off the pedals for Molman, then a foot off the pedal for Jackson. Carter's down on the 2 straightaway, going to get him picked on up right away. All the way back at me down through the 3rd straightaway, looking like Molman and Hall sitting out on the 1-2. Hall moving on by for the 1 spot as we go down in, closing up on turn number 3, all the way back at us. Once again, 2 spots up for grabs on this one. That's how they're going to go. Hall and Molman sitting out on the 1-2. We're getting Carter over here picked up on the 2nd straightaway, all the way back at me. That's how it's going to go. Roman Hall and Alan Molman, 1 and 2 out of motor number 15. Oh, am I still on? I am still on. Thought I turned that off. How about that, everybody? Give it up for Carter Jackson rolling through turn number 2. Took a pretty nasty spill in the 2nd straightaway. Right back up on his feet.
Attention.
We were giving him the whole, hey, your legs all right? Your arms all right? You're all right? He's like, dude, let me my bike. It's like, let me grab my bike already.
Watch the gate.
Oh, yeah, 16's a motor number 7-year-old novice. Got Rao, Davis, and Franklin. Pretty good shot out of Franklin and Davis. They're out on the 1-2. Here comes Braxton Rao trying to find a way on up to the top 2 spots. Davis and Rao going to go side by side down through the 2nd straightaway. Maverick Davis has the inside line. Rao going to pull a little bit of racecraft on the 2nd half of the track, see if he can make his way on up to the top 2 spots. We're taking 2 on out to a main event. Out of our 7-year-old novices, all hardcore realtor colors of Franklin sitting out on the 1 spot as we go down through the 3 straightaway. Davis and Rao going to go side by side as we go in and out of this 3rd and final corner. Rao going to sit back, try to get a little bit of a run as we come all the way back to the line. 2 spots up for grabs. Avery Franklin going to get a spot. And round not quite going to have enough charge. Maverick Davis going to grab up that second transfer spot out of motor number 16. 17 is the motor number. 8-year-old novice. Tarpening, Casita, and Lawrence. 49 rides sitting out front. That's Holly Casita. Got Casita and a couple of Tarpenings out on the 1-2. Believe that's Ryan sitting on up to the 2 spot. All the way back at us. Yep, Ryan Tarpening back to the 2 spot. Riker to the 3. Camilla Lawrence back to the 4 spot as we go down through the 3rd straightaway. 3 spots available in a main event. Got Casita, Tarpening, and Tarpening. Ryan holding on to the 2 spot. Riker back to the 3. Charge coming out of Ryan Tarpening all the way back to the stripe, trying to try to move on up to the 1 spot. Not quite having enough, but they're all moving on to the main. Going to go Casita, Ryan Tarpening, Riker Tarpening, grabbing up your transfer spots out of motor number 17. 18 is the motor number. 9-year-old novice guy, Lamano, Parker, Wason, and Welch. Kyson Parker sitting out front on this one right now. We go in and out of the 2nd corner. Lamano on the outside looking in. Welch holding on to that 3rd and final spot, sitting on the bubble. Got Parker sitting out front, 75 ride, sitting back to the 2 spot. This is 76 of Blake Wason. Got Parker Wason out of the 1-2. Lamano moving on up to the 3 spot, but stuck on the outside line. See if Welch can make something happen as we go in and out of turn number 3. Got a drag race on all the way back to the stripe. Kyson Parker with some authority going to grab up the 1st spot. 2nd and 3rd spot up for grabs. Lamano going to come on by along with Wason. Those are going to be your transfer spots out of 18. 19 is the motor number. 10-year-old novice guys, Schellenberg, Collier, and Stewart. Team Money leading them in and out of turn number 2 all the way back at us. Team Money and Madeline Schellenberg out on the 1-2. Collier back to the 3 spot.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Total points on this one. That's how it's going to go all the way back at me. Team Money going to grab up another low point. Madeline coming through turn number 3 all the way back at me, trying to hold off Elias. Looks like she's going to grab up another 2 spot. Elias Collier for a 3 out of 19. 20 is the motor number. 11-year-old novice guy, Franklin, Malone, Biondi, and Nixon. Got Franklin, Biondi on the 1-2. Elijah Nixon back to the 3 spot. Ethan Malone back to the 4. 2 spots up for grabs out of this one. Nixon trying to find a way on up, but Franklin and Biondi are stretching it out as we go through the rhythm section.
Okay, riders, random start.
Leaving Nixon and Malone to play a little bit of catch-up all the way back home, see if they can make anything happen all the way back to the line. Hardcore Realtor colors of Franklin going to go all the way wire to wire, all the way back to the line. Hayden Franklin and JoJo Biondi going to grab up your transfer spots out of motor number 20. 21's motor number, 11-year-old novice guy, Johnson, Pope, and Carlton. E-Money and Pope going 1-2 side by side as we come all the way back down through the 2 straightaway. E-Money going to pop his nose on out for the 1 spot. Isaac Pope back to the 2, going to get some momentum through turn 2, see if he can make it close down through the rhythm section.
Attention.
869 rider Blake Johnson back to the 3 spot. We're taking 2 riders on out to a main event out of this one. Johnson putting in a charge as we go down through the rhythm section. E-Money and Isaac Pope out on the 1-2 all the way back home. Nice and smooth, holding it down all the way back at me. E-Money going to get a spot, and Isaac Pope going to get a spot out of motor number 21. Oh, my sheets just came apart. 22 is the motor number guy, Lopez DeWart, Conklin, and Arnold. This 12-year-old novice. We're taking 2 riders to a main event out of this one. Conklin on the outside looking in. Got Lopez DeWart and Arnold out on the 1-2 as we go down through the 3 straightaway. Purple Heart Racing Co. is sitting out on the 2 spot right now, but it's all Antonio Lopez DeWart trying to grab up a low point and a transfer spot as we go in and out of turn number 3. That's how they're going to go all the way back to the line. A little bit of a charge out of the Mav. Doesn't look like he's going to have enough tonight. Going to go Lopez DeWart for a spot and Connor Arnold for a spot out of motor number 22. 23 is a motor number. 13-year-old novice got Malone, Nixon, Harris, and Benici. Got Nixon and Dill Pickle sitting out on the 1-2 right now. I believe we got Malone sitting back to the 3 spot. Benici back to the 3.
Attention.
Taking 3 riders on out to a main event out of this one. Got Elijah Nixon trying to stretch it on out as we go through turn number 3, but Dill Pickle's right there, not letting him get far out at all. Mr. Red, White, and Blue sitting back to the 3 spot of Malone. That's how they're going to go back to the stripe. Elijah Nixon going to get a spot. Dill Pickle Harris going to get a spot along with Tyler Malone. Mr. Red, White, and Blue grabbing up that 3rd and final spot out of 23. 24 is a moto number. Gosh, Slotshauer, Wise, and Laney in that order running down through the 2. Slotshauer sitting out on the 1 spot. Whole lot of Adam Wise trying to find a way on by as we go through the 2nd corner. Laney back to the 3 spot. Good to see all 3 of these riders up on their feet and rolling as we go down through the rhythm section. Slotshauer came out with a 2 out of round number 1 after a little tumble, so we're going to tie it on up for the main event, make it a race coming all the way back home. That's how it's going to go. Slotshauer on a total points night going to grab up a 1. Wise going to grab up a 2. They'll be tied up for the main events. Laney grabbing up a 3. 25 is the motor number. 17 to 20-year-old novice got Hunter Carcione, Joe Walter, and Luke Pope. Plates are still on. Believe we got Luke Pope sitting out on the 1 spot right now, coming out of Excelsior Springs. Got Pope and Walter out on the 1-2. Carcione back to the 3 spot. Sounds like they all tried it out tonight for the first time. Ended up racing each other.
Watch the gate.
All right. Semi-main events are posted up. Old school on the wall over by signups, and they're up on Facebook. All the way back. Abby Luke Pope going to grab up another 1 spot. Walter for another 2. Carcione for another 3. 26, the motor number. 26, 35-year-old nervous. Got Cody Chidsey, Timothy Collier, and Samantha Daly. Got Chidsey and Daly out on the 1-2. Daly sat it on down moto style through that second corner. Said, I'll take a seat for a second. Rest up. Going through turn number 2. All the way back at me, still Chidsey and Daly out on the 1-2. Collier back to the 3. Single file as we go in and out of the third and final corner. Back down. A little bit of style out of Daly, throwing a manual all the way back at me. 5'11", but going to grab up the win. That's Chidsey for another ace. Not without a charge from Samantha Daly for the 2 spot. Collier for a 3. 27 number, 41 to 45-year-old novice. Got John Dutton, Jonas Dominguez, and Devin Connell. Got Connell and Dominguez out on the 1-2. Yellowstone Dutton back to the 3 spot. Single file as we come in and out of the second corner.
Attention.
A couple of lead graduates out of our last couple of sessions out of this one. Got Devin Connell going to lead him in and out of the third and final corner. Try to stretch out the gap a little bit on Dominguez, trying to keep it nice and close all the way back at us. That's how it's going to go. Got Connell, Dominguez, and Dutton 1, 2, and 3. Out of 27, 28's the motor number. Welcome to the intermediate class. Got Miller, Daly, and Tonga. Lost Daly. Believe that was, did he go down out of turn 1 or into turn 1? I can't tell based on where he's at. Got Tonga and Miller sitting down on the 1-2. Single file down through the third straightaway. Seth's back up on his feet. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. He's up and rolling through turn number 1. Going as fast as he was going into it, all the way out of turn number 3 for the front guys. Looking like Tonga and Miller still running 1 and 2. Miller not quite close enough to make anything happen all the way back at us. Tonga going to go into the main. Going to go into the main event with some low points. 1-1 for Tonga. Miller going to grab up a 2 spot. Daly for a 3. They'll be tied up for the 2 spot going into the main events. 29's the motor number. The intermediates got Jace Werlich, Emmett Hall, and Metters. Got a pretty good shot out of Hall. Werlich and Metters going to go side by side as we go in and out of turn number 1. Looking like Werlich popping on up to the 2 spot. Single file as we come out of turn number 1. Still got Emmett Hall sitting out front with some authority coming out of Pleasant Hill, Missouri. Got Hall and Werlich out on the 1-2. Metters back to the 3. Once again, this is total points racing. They'll be doing it like this all night long. Looking the same as it did in round number 1. Got Hall and Werlich still out on the 1-2. Single file action through the section. Metters keeping it nice and close. Pretty even gap as we head in and out of the third and final corner. Werlich trying to make it close. Hall going to throw a little bit of style, I'm sure, all the way back at us. Hey, nobody cares if you bonk the manual as long as you win. Got Hall sitting out on the 1 spot. Werlich for a 2. Metters for a 3 out of 29. 30's the motor number. Got Dotson, Campbell, Unerstall, Watson, and Hale. Got Wild West sitting out front right now. Brennan Hale and Lachlan Campbell sitting on the 2-3. Believe that's Brodo Dotson back to the 4 spot. Leaving Watson on the outside looking in. The Delegator trying to find a way on into the top 4, but it's all Wild West and Brennan Hale are running 1 and 2, followed up by Lightning and Slow-Mo running 3-4. Oh, the Delegator of Watson trying to find a way on up into a main event as we come all the way back through that 4th straightaway. Hardcore Realtor Colors of Unistal going to grab a spot, followed up by Hale, Campbell, and Dotson will be your top 4. Out of motor number 30. 31's a motor number. 10-year-old intermediates. Got Big Mac Duval, Oliver Luce, and Lily Olson. Got Big Mac Duval sitting out on the 1 spot right now. Olson and Luce doing some battle. Olson sitting on the 2 spot right now. We're taking 2 riders on out to a main event. Oliver Luce trying to find a way to move on up in the program as we come all the way back. We still got Duval and Olson out on the 1-2. Luce right there on the back wheel. We might have a drag race coming all the way back to the line for that second and final transfer spot. Big Mac for the Purple Heart crew going to grab up a spot. And Majesty Colors of Olson going to grab up that second spot out of motor number 31. We choose the moto number. 11 intermediates. Got Lamano, Morgan, Lakey, Conklin. 4 riders go in, 3 go out. Lakey sitting on the outside looking in. Got Morgan, Lamano, Conklin, 1, 2, and 3. Lakey sitting back to the 4 spot, trying to find a way to move on up in the program. A little bit of airtime out of Morgan. Lamano sitting back to the 2 spot. Hunter Conklin on the bubble. Got all kinds of pressure from Lakey all the way back home. 3 spots up for grabs. Morgan going to get a spot. Lamano going to get a spot. And not without pressure from Lakey, Hunter Conklin going to get that third and final transfer spot. Out of motor number 32. 33 is the motor number 12 intermediates. Got A.J. Johnson, Derek Wise, London Johnson, and the Gladiator, Gunnar Nash. Got Johnson and Wise out on the 1-2. London Johnson sitting back to the 3 spot. Gladiator trying to find a way on up into the top 3. Johnson on the London Johnson on the outside of Wise trying to find a way on up to a top 2 spot. High-low in a drag race all the way back home. Freaky Fast Colors, though, A.J. Johnson sitting way out front, going to grab up 1 spot. Derek Wise going to grab up a 2nd spot, followed up by London Johnson, 1, 2, and 3. Out of moto 33. 34 is a moto number. Counts, Penny, Odell, and Lauer. A lot of speed in this one after a little bit of a messy round number 1. Lauer, Counts, and Odell out 1, 2, and 3. Penny back to the 4 spot.
Attention.
Olivia Robinette to staging. Olivia Robinette head on up to staging. Penny on the outside looking in, trying to find a way on up. Lauer and Counts out on the 1, 2. Odell back to the 3 spot, trying to hold off a charge from Penny all the way back home. That's how they're going to go. Going to go Frank Lauer, Patrick Counts, and Neon Noah Odell grabbing up your spots out of 34. 35 is the motor number. 15 intermediates. Got Cameron Jack, Malin Pokup, and Kirby the Maverick Green. Got Jack and Pokup out on the 1, 2. Here comes the Maverick trying to find a way on up to a top 2 as we go through the second corner. 2 riders on out to a main event. This is not total points. What you see is what you get.
Okay, riders.
Going to go Jack, Pokup, Green, single file as we go in and out of the third and final corner. Cameron Jack stretching it out just a little bit. All the way back to the line. Cameron Jack going to get a spot. Malin Pokup going to get a spot. Out of motor number 35. 36, the motor number, 17 to 20-year-old intermediates. Blake, Gadke, and Kelly. Super Cooper got a pretty good shot as we come out of turn number 1. Gadke was sitting in the 2 spot. Riley Blake pulling a little bit of racecraft from the old days. Said, I know a thing or two still. Back down through the third straightaway. Going to go Kelly.
Okay, random start.
She said, you think I'm old? That's not what I said, Riley.
Okay.
Gadke trying to find a way on up to the top 2. We're taking 2 riders on out to a main event. All the way back to the line. Edge Racing Colors to Kelly going to get a spot. And Riley Blake going to get a spot out of motor number 36. I was calling her old. Experience. Yeah, you can't say old. You got to say experienced. 37's a motor number. Moving on into the Girls Club. 12-year-old ladies experts. Got Fly Rye Brown, Olivia Robinette, and Super Sophia Campbell. Got Brown and Campbell out on the 1, 2. A little bit of bobble out of Brown. Going to give Campbell a shot to pull up right alongside. They're going to go side by side into turn number 3, but Brown's got the inside line. Drag race all the way back to the stripe. Campbell trying to find a way on up. Total points racing on this one. Every spot's going to count all the way back home. Riley Brown going to hold on for a 1 spot, going in with low points into a main event, followed up by Campbell and Robinette, 1, 2, and 3. 38's a motor number. 7-year-old experts. Got Holly Shingleton loose. Single file down through the second straightaway. Freaky Fast Colors Asher loose, sitting out on the 1 spot. Eula Shingleton to the 2. Elijah Holly back to a 3.
Attention.
This one is total points. They're running through that third straightaway, trying to pick up as low points as they can, heading into a main event. Asher Luce grabbed up a 1 spot out of round number 1. Going to try to do it again in round number 2 all the way back home. Looks like he will. Going to go loose. Shingleton for another 2 spot. Holly for another 3 out of 38. 39's the motor number. 8-year-old experts. Got T-Bone Moorhead, Taco Bell Aldrich, and Jackson Bowie. Got Bowie, Moorhead, Aldrich in that order. The freight train sitting out front right now. Gold 3 from doing it for the Bicycle Shack crew in and out of turn number 2. Going to go Bowie, Moorhead, Aldrich, 1, 2, and 3.
Attention.
Okay, riders. Random start. Riders ready. Watch the gate.
All the way back to the line. Looking like Bowie and Moorhead going to go 1, 2 all the way back to the stripe. Total points on this one. Going to go Bowie, Moorhead, Aldrich, 1, 2, and 3. Semi-main event start heading up to staging. Semi-main event start heading up to staging. Have yourself ready to roll. 5 and under novice semi-main events. Have yourself go on up to staging. Semi-main events are posted over on the building. Old school style, taped to the side in paper. 9 experts, 40 is a motor number. Got Kent, Toussaint, Coonan, and Holt. Pretty good move in motor number 1. Didn't quite get on out to a main event. Looking like Kent and Toussaint Coonan out on the 1, 2. Holt trying to find a way on up in a 3 spot. There's the move right there. Holt going to slam the door shut. Toussaint Coonan sitting on the outside looking in. Got a drag race all the way back to the line. Side by side. Pedals out of Holt. Pumping out of Toussaint Coonan. Going to grab up the transfer spot. Going to go Ivan Kent and Connor Toussaint Coonan grabbing up your transfer spots out of motor number 40. 41 is the motor number. 10-year-old experts. Got G-Man Campbell, Xavier Davidson, and Bash Noboom. The showdown continues. Got Davidson sitting out front out of turn number 2 this time. Got Noboom sitting back to the 2 spot, trying to find a way on by down through that 3 straightaway. Going to pin up the inside line, see if he can find a way on by. Davidson going to grab up a outside line through the 3rd straightaway. Was able to hold him off. Now he's got to run down the last straightaway all the way back to me. They're going to be tied up for the main event. Going to go Davidson, Noboom, Campbell, 1, 2, and 3. 42 is a motor number. 14-year-old experts. Wise Guy Wiseman. Jake Hattie, and Slow-Mo Neal. Jake is the only rider on this moto sheet without a nickname. We got to fix that. Looking like Wiseman and Neal out on the 1-2. Hattie trying to find a way on into a main event. Got AOT color sitting up front on an AOT team night. Got Freaky Fast color sitting back to the 2-3. That's Slow-Mo Neal and Jake Hattie.
Attention.
2 riders going on out to a main event. This one is not total points. What you see is what you get all the way back home. Neal going to try to slide on by. Going to go Wiseman and Neal for your transfer spots out of moto number 42. 43 is the moto number. 15 experts got Watson, Olsen, and Penny. Pretty good shot out of Beckett Watson on the outside, but it's all Evan Penny grabbing up a whole shot. Oh, no, little high-low action out of Watson. Going to slam that door shut. Down through the second straightaway. Got Gold Coast Daylight colors of Watson out of the 1 spot. Penny back for a 2. Olsen hanging back to the 3. There's single file as we go down through the third straightaway. Penny trying to find a way on up. Sitting on a low point after round number 1, trying to find a way on by Watson. Keep those low points rolling as we head into a main event. Side by side all the way back to the line. Ooh, we'll wait for scoring on that one. Penny picked up a pedal at the end there. See if he was able to come on by for a 1 spot. That was Watson, Penny, Olsen, 1, 2, 3 out of that one. 5 and under semi-main events, head on up to staging. 5 and under semi-main events, head on up to staging as soon as you can. 44 is a motor number 17 to 20-year-old experts. Got Sugar Sean Madden coming in and out of turn number 3, leading them all the way back to the line wire to wire. Blankenship and Blake doing a little bit of battle on the 2-3 once again. Madden going to grab up a 1 spot. Blankenship going to grab up another 2. Blake for another 3. 45 is the motor number, 26, 35-year-old Sketchford. It's got Darren Nash, Nick Novotny, and Justin Svoboda. Usually I call them sketchy, but these guys aren't that sketchy. They're just going fast. Oh, that was beautiful. Picture perfect out of Svoboda as we come all the way back home. Got Svoboda, Novotny, Nash out on the 1, 2, 3, down through the third straightaway. Nash going to try to come around the outside line. Novotny thought about pulling an inside line in that third corner, decided against it all the way back home. Svoboda going to grab up another ace. Nash for another 2, Novotny for another 3. 46 the motor number, last one of the for round number 2. Gob, Brown, Woolery, Wallace in that order as we head through turn number 1. 5 and under novice semi-main events, got a lot of you up there. All riders for 5 and under semis head on up to the hill. Purple Heart Racing color. Ooh, doing it for the Purple Heart crew out of KCMO, looking like Corey Brown sitting out front right now. Got Skeeter Woolery right there back to the 2 spot. Grandma Mary back to the 3. Total points on this one. They're all going on out to a main event, just fighting for low points all the way back at us. Thomas Shingleton to staging. Thomas Shingleton head on up to staging. Thomas Shingleton to staging. Going to go Brown, Woolery, and Wallace 1, 2, and 3. That's going to do it for round number 2. Got semi-main event staged up and ready to roll. Darion O'Neill to staging. Darion O'Neill to staging. We're seeing him. He's headed on up there. Ooh. All right, Kiola Tucson Coonan, your dog is over here on the 4th straightaway outside the fence. Kiola's dog is over here by turn number 3 outside the fence, rolling on over there back behind turn number 3. Outside the fence, might want to go grab him before we got a dog on the run. Once again, Kiola, your dog is over there behind turn number 3 a running. What was that? Yeah, if anybody can grab the dog and grab the leash, that'd be awesome. If anybody's over there on that south end, we don't need to have a loose dog out there running about tonight. Go, Connor. Go, 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 go. He said, oh, I can run now. Oh, we got fences being hopped over there on the south end. BMX families coming clutch when we need them. Connor's coming down there over by the wood line, guys, if you can get to him. Dog is secured. Not sure if that was a BMX family over on the playground. Thank you, guys. We got the dog grabbed up and good to roll. I had a perfect view right here. I could see everything. Mr. Hoag's over there by the grill asking me to promote the burgers so we can sell them out. We're going till the end of round number 2. Normally get your burgers, get your dogs. Matt's over there grilling the last of them up. They're going to stay fresh for just a little while longer, and then you're getting them not quite fresh off the grill. They don't taste quite as good. Come on, come on.
Attention.
People ask how I know that kind of music. I say, I was raised by old people.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Get loud, Blue Springs BMX 500 novice semi-main event number 1 is going down the first straightaway. Got Harves, Kreisa, Tarpon, and Cross, Shingleton, Wason, Holly, and Malone. Got a pretty good shot out of Shingleton on the inside line. Weston Cross going to slide on by the outside and make on up the 1 spot. Got Cross and Thomas Shingleton out on the 1-2. Harves and Tarponing right back there on the 3-4. Got Piper Harves on the 3 spot. Ruby Tarponing on the 4. Got the 80 right of Wason on the outside looking in, followed by Rosie Malone and Declan Kreisa. Holly heading up the 8 spot all the way back through us. Got Cross, Shingleton, Harves, Tarponing. That's your 1, 2, 3. Wason and Kreisa on the 5-6, trying to find a way on up to a main event as we come in and out of turn number 3. All the way back home. Shingleton still back to the 2 spot. Harves putting all kinds of pressure as we come out of the 3rd and final corner, but Cross is running away all the way back at us.
Okay, riders. Random
All the way
start.
back to the line. Weston Cross going to go wire to wire, not quite wire to wire, and grab up a 1 spot. Oh, Shingleton and Harves side by side. Piper Harves going to grab a spot. Thomas Shingleton going to get a spot, and Ruby Tarponing going to get that 4th and final spot out of motor number 1 for the 500 novice. Semi number 2's out on track. A whole lot of neon. Got Kilberg and Moore out running 1 and 2. Moore going to slide on up to a 1 spot. Got Kilberg, Brazy, Hall 1, 2, 3, and 4. Looks like Rhett Shitwood back to the 5 spot. Oh, back to the 5. Welch back to the 6. Followed up by Adric and Darion outrunning 7 and 8 all the way back down through turn number 2. Guy, Kilberg, Moore, Brazy, Hall, still your 1, 2, 3, and 4, followed up by Chitwood and Welch trying to find a way on into a main event on a Friday night. Oh, Kilberg came on by through the 3 straightaway. Here comes Moore taking that 1 spot back as we come out of turn number 3 all the way back home. Side by side, they know they're going to a main event. I don't know if they do know they're going to a main event. They're racing like it's the end of the world right here all the way back at us. Kilberg going to get a spot, followed up by Moore, Brazy, and Cabo Hall grabbing up your transfer spots into a 5 and under novice main event. So your 5 and under novice main event going to be Piper Harves, Ruby Tarponing, Weston Cross, Thomas Shingleton, Kean Brazy, Weston Moore, Madden Kilberg. Keller Olson to staging. Keller Olson to staging. Keller Olson to staging.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Gate is down on motor number 6. 9 Cruisers got Arrow, Juicebox Bailey, Connor Toussaint Coonan in the Spear, Braden Holt, and Bay Quads Dotson. Pretty good shot out of Toussaint Coonan. Arrow Bailey going to slam that door shut from the outside. Came all the way over to the inside as we come out of turn number 1. Bailey, Toussaint Coonan. Holt running 1, 2, and 3. Quads Dotson sitting right on the outside hip of Holt, trying to find a way on up to a podium spot as we roll in and out of turn number 2. Still got Bailey, Toussaint Coonan, Holt 1, 2, and 3. Here comes Quads around the outside trying to find a way up to a 3 spot. They're side by side going into turn number 2. 3, but Holt's got the inside line going to hold on as we come out of that third and final corner. Toussaint Coonan putting on a charge, not quite going to have enough on a Friday. Going to go Bailey, Toussaint Coonan, and Holt 1, 2, and 3 out of motor number 6. Seventh motor number, got Hawthorne, Holt, and Noteboom. Got EJ Hawthorne sitting. Got Asher Colors and Noteboom sitting back to the 2 spot. Spin faster, Holt back to the 3. Hawthorne holding on for his life right now. Noteboom finding every way on around. Going to slam the door shut down through the 3 straightaway. Hawthorne trying every move in the book to hold on to the 1 spot. Not quite able to make it happen on a Friday all the way back at us. At Astor Colors and Noteboom. A little bit of track work, a little bit of style back at me. Going to go Noteboom, Hawthorne, Holt 1, 2, 3 out of that one. 8 is the motor number. Got 15 Cruiser, Keller Olson. Dakota, the Golden Peddler Harris, and Slow-Mo Austin Neal. Got Neal sitting back at the 2 spot right now. Olson, Neal, Harris, 1, 2, and 3 as we go down through the 3rd straightaway. Olson stretching it on out. Slow-Mo and Golden Peddler doing a little bit of battling for that 2 spot all the way back at us. Total points racing on this one. This is how they've been running them all night long. Back to the line. Going to go Olson for the overall 1 spot, and Neal for the overall 2. Harris for the 3.
Watch the gate.
46 to 50-year-old Cruisers got motor number 9 out on track. Lambert, Jamison, and Brown. Pretty good shot out of Corey Brown. Purple Heart Racing Crew, the old man, going to get a shot in and out of turn number 1, lead us all the way back around. Got Jamison back to the 2 spot. Lambert for the 3. Not total points racing on this one. Through that 2nd corner, still Brown, Jamison, Lambert. Pretty good gap to them. They're single file down through the rhythm section. Zach, should I smile?
Attention.
Back down through the 4th straightaway all the way back to the line. Purple Heart Color's going to go wire to wire on this one. Going to go Corey Brown for the 1 spot. Jamison for a 2. Lambert for a 3.
Watch the gate.
Moto 10 out on track. Turn your attention over to the 500 novices. Got Harves, Kreisa, Harves, Tarpening, Cross, Shingleton, Brazy, Moore, Kilberg, and Hall. Got a pretty good shot out of Princess Piper Harves, but it's all Matt and Kilberg in the neon. Going to lead him in and out of turn number 1. Going to go Kilberg, Brazy, Harves, Tarpening, 1, 2, 3, and 4 all the way back at us as we come down through the 2nd straightaway right now. Brazy trying to get a little bit of a run, move on up to Kilberg. Single file for the top 3, trying to stretch it on out as we go in and out of turn number 2. Still Kilberg, Brazy, Harves, 1, 2, and 3. Ruby Tarpening trying to hold on to the 4 spot. Got a whole lot of Thomas Shingleton and Weston Moore back to the 5, 6. Followed up by Hall and Cross as we go in and out of turn number 3. Tarpening still trying to hold off the whole wide world for the 4 spot. Going to go into turn number 3. Come on out on the top 4. Here comes Shingleton trying to move on up in the program. But it's all Matt and Kilberg on this one, wire to wire. Going to go Kilberg, Brazy, Harves, 1, 2, and 3. Looking like Shingleton, I believe, came on by for the 5 spot with Tarpening. Close one for the 4, 5. Moto 14 out on track. Got 6-year-old novice. Got Peters. Got Colin, Katie, Welch, Peterson, Banks, Molman, Hall, and Shipley. Got River, Banks, Kinsley, Shipley sitting out on the 1, 2. Katie trying to make a run at the 2 spot. Foot came off the pedals. Evelyn got back on it quick, holding on to the 3 spot. In and out of the 2nd corner. Still going to go Banks, Shipley, Katie, 1, 2, and 3. Followed up by Camden, Collin, and Edwin Welch to the 4, 5. Followed up by Molman, Peterson, and Hall. Colleen Welch to staging. Colleen Welch to staging. Colleen Welch head on up to staging. In and out of turn number 3 all the way back at us. Wire to wire on this one. River Banks going to grab up a 1 spot with some authority. Followed up by Shipley and Colin going to go 2, 3. Welch and Katie rounding out the 4 and 5. 16's a moto out on track. 7-year-old novice. Got Beckham, Nacho Eulery, Maverick Davis, and Avery Franklin. Got Eulery and Franklin out on the 1, 2. Davis back to the 3 spot. Not total points on this one. What you see is what you get. Nacho sitting out on the 1 spot right now. Franklin pulling up as close as she can through that 2nd corner. See if we can get a little bit of a run back to him, but it's all single file in and out of that 2nd corner. Franklin pulling a little bit of track work through the rhythm section. We're still going to go single file on this one. Here comes Franklin trying to find a line in and out of that third corner. Going to have to tuck it on back for a 2-spot. Got a drag race brewing all the way back to the line. Davis sitting back to the 3-spot. The battle is up front. Nacho trying to hold off a hard charge out of Hardcore Realty colors of Franklin. Going to go Eulery, Franklin, Davis, 1, 2, and 3. 17 is the moto number 8-year-old novice. Got Hunter Hodges, Johnny Molman, Ryan Tarpening, Axel Miracle, Riker Tarpening, and Holly Casita. I heard a rumbling on this one that if Miracle's sitting out front is able to get a win on this one, he's moving on up to the intermediate class. Got Hodges, and I believe that's Johnny Molman trying to spoil the party, but they're a little ways back as we go in and out of turn number 3. See if Hodges can play spoiler on this one. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Get nice and loud, Blue Springs BMX. 2 jumps to go. Your newest USA BMX intermediate rider, Axel Miracle, moving on up to the intermediate class for the win. Hodges for a 2-spot, Johnny Molman for a 3. 49 bike at Casita on back for the 4-spot out of motor number 17. Give it up once again for Axel Miracle up into the intermediate class on a Friday night.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Bam, gates down on motor number 18, 9-year-old novice. Got Style, Lamano, Parker, Wason, Belcher, Welch, and Hall. Pretty good shot out of Idle and Hall on the outside. Going to go 3 wide with Belcher and Style in and out of turn number 1. Going to go Style, Belcher. Lamano trying to move on up to the 3-spot. Going to be Idle and Hall on the 3 as we come down through the 2 straightaway. Style, Belcher, Hall, 1, 2, and 3. Kyson Parker on the 4-spot. Lamano rounding out the top 5. All the way back at us. Hall trying to find a way to move on up into the top 2, but it's all Colton Style repping the Blue Springs BMX colors down through the rhythm section. Oh, here comes Belcher on the inside trying to find a way on by. A little peek over the shoulder for Style, realizing he's going to have to play a little defense all the way back to the line. Not quite enough right there. Let Belcher by as we come all the way back down through the 4 straightaway. Single file action back to the stripe. Style going to put on a run. Looking like Nokasi Belcher grabbing up the 1 spot on a Friday, followed up by Style, Hall, and Parker on 2 and 3 and 4. 19 is the moto number. 10-year-old novice got Elias Collier, Madeline Schellenberg, and Trenton T-Money Stewart down through the 2nd straightaway, in and out of turn number 2. All Team Money doing it for the Purple Heart Racing crew out of Blue Springs, Missouri. Now we're checking everything out right here. Believe we may also have a move up brewing on this one as well. We'll see what we got coming in and out of the 3rd and final corner. Believe that's my confirmation right there. He is sitting on 9 trying to make it 10 as we come in and out of turn 3 all the way back at us. Put your hands together. Another intermediate move up. Trenton T-Money Stewart moving on up to the intermediate class with a win out of motor number 19, followed up by Schellenberg and Collier. 20 is the moto number. 11-year-old novice main event got Franklin, Campbell, Eulery, Biondi, Pope, King, Carlton, and Rogers. Dylan King sitting out front right now. I believe that's the 838 bike. That's the Hunter Rogers back to the 2-spot, followed up by Franklin and Eulery on the 3-4. Oh, Eulery trying to move on up to the 3-spot. Going to take an inside line, move up to a podium as we come in and out of turn number 2. Still King, Rogers, Eulery, 1, 2, and 3.
Attention.
Believe that's Pope moving on up to the 4 spot. Now here comes D-Money Carlton moving on up to the top 4. Eulery making some moves, sliding on by the Hunter for that 2 spot all the way back to the line. Dylan King with a little authority going to grab up a win on a Friday, followed up by Eulery, Rogers, and Pope. 1, 2, 3, and 4 on that one. 22 number, 12-year-old novice got Antonio Lopez DeWard, the Maverick Conklin, Rayleigh King, Jackson Lester, and Connor Arnold. Got King and Lester out on the 1, 2. Lopez DeWard back to the 3 spot, followed up by Arnold.
Attention.
Down through the rhythm section, single file on this one. Rayleigh King trying to stretch it on out as we go in and out of turn number 3. Still Lester and Lopez DeWart sitting back to the 2-3 spot. Connor Arnold rounding out the top 4 for the Purple Heart crew. All the way back at us, doing it for Purple Heart Racing out front. I believe Rayleigh King grabbing up a 1 spot. Jackson Lester for a 2. Lopez DeWart for a 3. Connor Arnold rounding out the top 4 out of 22. 23 is the motor number. 13 novice got Malone, Nixon, Skaggs, Morgan, and Harris. Got Skaggs and Morgan out on the 1, 2 right now. Morgan doing a little bit of shopping, seeing if he can move on up to the 1 spot. Got Nixon on the 3, followed up by Dill Pickle Harris and Tyler Malone. Mr. Red, White, and Blue rounding out the top 5. Morgan all over the back wheels. We come in and out of turn number 3. Still Skaggs, Morgan, Nixon, 1, 2, and 3. A little bit of airtime out of Morgan. Should be focused on staying on the ground. It's faster, man. All the way back to me. Corbin Skaggs going to grab up the 1 spot. Morgan for a 2. Nixon for a 3. 24 is the motor number, 14-year-old novice, Gosh Schlotzauer, Laney, and Wise. Mark Schlotzauer sitting out front right now. Wise right on the back wheel in the 2 spot. Laney back to the 3. These top 2 are tied up in points. Whoever you see cross the line first is going to come out with the overall 1 spot. Gosh Schlotzauer, Wise, Laney in that order down through the 3 straightaway. Wise trying to find a way on by, get a little bit of a run as we go in and out of this third and final corner. All the way back out of State 5, trying to do a little bit of shopping. Not quite going to have enough for Schlotzauer today. Going to go Schlotzauer for the overall 1 spot. Wise for the overall 2. Laney for the 3. 17 to 20-year-old novice, Hunter Carcione, Joe Walter, and Luke Pope. This is motor number 25. I believe that's Walter sitting out front right now, sitting on 2s right now. But if these guys are buddies out on a Friday racing, bragging rights on the line. A little bit of a pedal strike for Walter right there. Pope going to pull right up alongside. Walter almost took a little detour down through that 3 straightaway. Pedaling through the rollers, lost a little bit of ground. Pope going to slide on by for the 1 spot. Said slow and steady wins the race, dude. I'll sit on the 2 spot, wait on you to make a little mistake. That's how it's going to go. All the way back at me. Going to go Pope, Walter, and Carcione, 1, 2, and 3. 26, the moto out on track. Chidsey got a pretty good shot. Here comes Daly, going to move on up to the 1 spot. Daly, Chidsey, Collier, 1, 2, 3 in that order as we go down through the 2 straightaway. A little bit of airtime out of Daly. Lost 1, almost lost all 3 of them. Get up, get up. There's spots up for grabs still. Chidsey looks like he's back up on his feet the fastest. Here comes Collier for the 2 spot. Daly back to the 3. Daly going to slide on up to the 2 spot. I've never seen a crash sequence like that before. They all went down at different times. I don't think.
Attention.
I mean, they definitely bumped each other, but they all, saved it and then went down again. All the way back at us, 5'11", and Chidsey sitting down on the 1 spot, bringing it all the way back to me. Had 1s on the night, coming out 1-1-1. Going to go Chidsey. Daly coming up with all the 2s. Collier for all the 3s. What a race. What aggression out of Samantha Daly right there. 27's motor number 41 to 45-year-old novice. Got John Dutton, Jonas Dominguez, and Devin Connell. Got Connell and Dominguez out on the 1-2 right now. Here comes Dutton trying to find a way on up in the program, moving on up to a 2 spot right there. Tires are a chirping. Dutton moving on up to the 2 spot. Dominguez back to the 3. They're going to go side by side through the rhythm section. Dominguez going to slide back on up to the 1 spot, but it's all about Devin Connell right now in and out of turn number 3. Stretching it way on out. One of our league graduates from this summer, moving on up to the 1 spot on a Friday. Low points on the night going to go to Connell. Dominguez for the 2 spot. Dutton for the 3. Welcome to the intermediate class. 6 intermediates, 28's the motor number. Got Austin Miller, Seth Daly, and Eli Tonga. Got Tonga, Miller, and Daly out on the 1, 2, 3 right now. Daly and Miller tied up on points for the 2 spot, racing for anything they can get right now. Every spot's going to count. All the way back home, still to State 3 of Eli Tonga sitting out front right now at Independence, Missouri. Got a whole lot of Austin Miller over on the back wheel, about a bike length back, trying to hold as close as he can as we go in and out of turn number 3. Daly trying to find a way on up to a 2 spot as we come all the way back home, but they're nice and evenly spread out, single file all the way back to the line. Eli Tonga going to grab up a 1 spot and the overall 1 on the night. Miller going to grab up the overall 2. Daly for the 3. 29 is the moto number. 29. I'm sorry. Got Hall, Whirlage, and Metters in that order as we come out of turn number 2. Got Emmett Hall trying to stretch it on out just a little bit down through the rhythm section. Whirlage hanging nice and close on the 197. Hunter Meadows back to the 3.
Ready, watch the gate.
In and out of the third and final corner, a little bit of airtime out of Hall all the way back to the stripe. He knows he's sitting out on the 1 spot. He's going to hold it all the way back to the line. Going to go Hall for the overall 1. Whirlage for the 2s, Metters for the 3s. 30's motor number, 9-year-old intermediates. Got Dotson, Campbell, Unerstall, Hall, Dotson, Hale, and Penny. Got Penny riding the white line in turn number 1, coming on out with the 1 spot. Got Saccone Hall trying to move on up to the 2. Dotson got a white line in turn 2, slide on up to the 2 spot. Hall back to the 3, Wild West to the 4, Hale to the 5.
Attention.
Down through the rhythm section. Penny trying to stretch it on out just a little bit. Dotson sitting right there. She knows how to make these races close all the way back to us. Edge Racing Colors on the State 1 sitting out front right now all the way back to me. Going to go Penny, Dotson, Hall, 1, 2, and 3 out of motor number 30. 10-year-old intermediate's pretty good shot out of Big Mac. Harv's on the outside trying to work his way over. Look at the aggression right there. Dipping the shoulder low. Going to come on out with a whole shot out of turn number 1. Cha-ching. Edge Racing Colors looking like Harv's. Duval and Olsen out 1, 2, 3 single file as we go into turn number 2. This is motor number 31.
Attention.
I'm trying as hard as I can not to be biased right now and be proud for the move he just made. Big Mac trying to reel him in as close as he can into turn number 2, about a bike length back. We got a battle coming all the way back to us. A little bit of a run out of Duval. Harv's got to stay on the gas if he wants to hold on to this one. All the way back to me. Going to go Harv's, Duval, Olsen, 1, 2, and 3 on that one. 32's motor number, 11-year-old intermediate. Scott Lamano, Barker, Bro, and Morgan, Kelly, Curley, Lakey, and Davidson. Conklin and Davidson. Whoa. Chase mode sitting out front right now, followed up by Morgan. Morgan trying to get a little fancy, lost a little bit of time. Going to go Curly, Morgan, Davidson, Barker, 1, 2, 3, and 4 down through the third straightaway. Davidson getting a little bit of a run. Chase mode sitting out front on this one all the way back to me. That's how it's going to go. Going to go Curly for the 1 spot, Morgan for the 2, Davidson for the 3 out of motor number 32. 33 is the motor number. Laredo got a pretty good shot. Velasquez coming all the way from the outside. Going to take up the whole shot. Got Laredo Jr., Velasquez, Johnson, Wise, and Johnson. This moto is brought to you by Johnson, Johnson, and Wise. 12 intermediates out here. Here comes the 11X. That's Laredo Jr. trying to make his way on by down through the third straightaway. Going to go side by side with Velasquez in and out of that third and final corner. He's right on the back heels. We got a drag race brewing all the way back down the stripe on this one. Rock 1 trying to hold him off. He's going to do just that all the way back to the line. Going to go Velasquez, Laredo Jr., and A.J. Johnson 1, 2, and 3 out of motor number 33. 34 is a moto number. Holt trying to split the middle. Look like Lauer going to grab up a whole shot. Got Holt, Cal, Odell, Lauer, Spinks, and Belgrave. Lauer sitting out on the 1 spot. Kit Kat going to slide on up to the 1. White line in turn number 2. Got Belgrave, Spinks, and Odell back to the 3, 4, 5 as we go into turn number 3. Lauer right there on the back wheel. Kit Kat, the training's been paying off nice and aggressive all the way across the track, all the way back to us. Going to pay off with a win on a Friday night. Going to go Holt, Lauer, Belgrave 1, 2, and 3. Spinks rounding out the top 4. 35 is the motor number. 15 intermediates. Got Cameron Jack, Malin Pokup, and the Golden Peddler Dakota Harris. Got Jack, Harris, and Pokup out running 1, 2, and 3 right now. Hat on the hip as we go through the second corner. Got Jack coming out of Lee Summit, Missouri, sitting out on the 1 spot right now. The Golden Peddler all over the back wheel. Going to try to see what he can make happen as we come all the way back home.
Ready, watch the gate.
Got a little bit of a charge. He's close, not quite close enough. Going to go Jack, Harris, and Pokup 1, 2, and 3 out of 35. 36 the motor number. 17 to 20-year-old intermediates. Riley Blake, Kyle Velasquez, and Super Cooper Kelly. Got Kelly, Velasquez, Blake out on the 1, 2, 3 all the way back home. Velasquez, birthday a couple days ago, trying to find a way to move on up with a 1 spot. They're going to go side by side through the 3 straightaway. A little bit of elbow rubbing out of those 2. Velasquez trying to find a way on by. Cooper going to take that outside line, take that inside away from Velasquez.
Okay, riders.
In and out of turn number 3. Just about single file on this one. That's how they're going to go all the way back to me. As they cross, going to go Kelly, Velasquez, and Blake. Pretty good shot out of Fly Rye Brown on the outside. Super Sophia Campbell trying to find a way on up. Robinette on the 3 spot. This is 37, 12-year-old ladies experts. Doing it for the Bicycle Shack crew on the state number 1 all the way back at us. Looking like Fly Rye Brown sitting down on the 1 spot. Super Sophia right there on the back wheel trying to get a little bit closer, work a little bit of track as we come down through the 3 straightaway.
Attention.
In and out of the third and final corner. Campbell dropping just a little bit, trying to hang as close as she can all the way back to us. It's looking like a 1-1-1 kind of night for Brown. Going to grab the overall ace. Campbell going to get the 2 spot. Robinette for the 3s. Welcome to the expert class. 7 expert is 38 is the motor number. Got Elijah Holly, Eula Singleton, and Asher Luce. Shingleton got a pretty good shot on the outside line, but Asher Luce has been out front all night long. Shingleton going to have to play second fiddle as we come down through the second straightaway. Holly back to the 3 spot. Shingleton trying to stay as close as he can, see if he can make a move happen on the freaky fast rider, Luce. He's done a pretty good job playing defense the whole night. See if Euless can find a chink in the armor all the way back down through the 3 straightaway. Overall aces mean Luce just got to finish top 2 on this one to move on up to the 1 spot overall. Shingleton putting on as much of a charge as he can along with Holly. They're trying to hang close, but it's been a night of Asher Luce all the way back to me. Going to go Luce for the 1 spot, Shingleton for the 2, Holly for the 3. 39's the motor number, 8-year-old Scott, Tristan T-Bone Moorhead, Taco Bell Aldrich, and Jackson Bowie. In and out of turn number 1, showing you the name, the freight train coming in and out of the first corner back at me. Got Moorhead and Aldrich battling back to the 2-3. Aldrich poking his nose out, moving on up to the 2 spot, but it's all Bowie in and out of turn number 2. That's how it's going to go. Bicycle Shack color sitting out on the 1 spot, stretching it out just a little bit as we go down through the rhythm section. Here comes T-Bone trying to find a way on up to a 2 spot. They're going to go side by side in and out of the third and final corner. Moorhead trying to get a little aggressive. Aldrich going to slam the door shut. A little bit of white line in and out of that third and final corner. Side by side all the way back to me. Going to go Bowie, Aldrich, Moorhead, 1, 2, and 3. Moorhead going to come home for the overall 2 spot on that one. Aldrich for the 3. 40's the motor number. 9-year-old experts got Kent, Tucson Coonan, and Jackman and Bailey. A little bit of a hole shot brewing for Bailey, but Jackman going to slam that door shut. Braxton Jackman and Arrow Bailey going to go side by side down through the 2 straightaway. Jackman got the inside line. Bailey got a little aggressive, not quite enough to shut it down all the way back to me. Going to go the Wolverine and Juice Box out 1 and 2. Tucson Coonan trying to find a way on up to a 2 spot. Going to go side by side with Bailey. 3 wide in and out of the 3rd and final corner. Bailey going for a little bit of a slide in that 3rd corner. Kent moving on up to a 3 spot. Single file all the way back to me. Going to go Jackman, Tucson Coonan, and Kent 1, 2, and 3. One of those moments from being on a bike where you see 3 of them going to turn 3 that tight, and you say one of them's not coming out there. Man, oh man, all kinds of aggression out of Juice Box, back up on his feet, back on the pedals.
Okay, riders, random start.
Now we get the showdown.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
41's a motor number. 10-year-old experts got Davidson, No Boom, and Campbell. Davidson shutting him down real quick as we go in and out of turn number 1. Whole shot going to belong to Davidson all the way back at us. No Boom right there on the back wheel. Xavier doing all he can to hold off a hard charge at No Boom. The 7 and the 2. I run him 1 and 2. All the way back to me. No Boom all over the back wheel, seeing what he can make happen. Davidson going to do all he can to keep that door shut down through the 3 straightaway. That's how they're going to go right now. No Boom pulling right up alongside. Davidson going to try to run that inside line, shut him down as we come all the way back to us. We got a drag race brewing all the way back to the line. Going to go side by side. No Boom trying to put on a charge. Davidson going to hold him off tonight. Going to go Davidson, No Boom, Campbell, 1, 2, and 3. 41. 42 is the motor number. 14 expert. Got the comeback kid Kurtz. Wise Guy Wiseman. The Orange Crusher Hingle and Slow-Mo Neal. Wiseman pulling on up to the 2 spot, but it's all the Orange Crusher in and out of turn number 1. Got Hingle, Wiseman, and Kurtz 1, 2, and 3. Slow-Mo Neal back to the 4 spot. A little bit of airtime out of Hingle. He's got a whole lot of Wise Guy in the rearview mirror. See if Wiseman can make anything happen as we go down through the 3 straightaway. Kurtz and Neal sitting right there, close if anything happens. Wiseman saw the inside line, took a little bit of a shot, didn't quite have enough. See if he can make a drag race all the way back to the stripe. A little flat land out of Kurtz back to the 3 spot. Going to go Hingle, Wiseman, Kurtz, 1, 2, and 3. Neal round out the top 4. 15X. A little bit of gate trouble out of Olsen all the way back to me, looking like Watson, Penny, and Olsen. 43 is a motor number on the 15X. Here comes Watson once again, slamming the door shut. Nice turn action all night long out of Watson. Penny right there on the back hip. They're tied up in point. Oh, not quite tied up. Hold on, let me do a little math. Watson looking at an overall 1 if he can hang where he's at in this 3rd and final corner. He finishes with a 1 spot. They'll be tied. He'll come out with the overall 1 on points. Penny going to try to make a little bit of a run as we come out of the 3rd final corner. A 1 jump. He went right on by all the way back at us. Going to go Penny, Watson, Olsen, 1, 2, and 3. That'll be your overall out of 43. 44 is a motor number. Blankenship, Blake, and Sugar Sean Madden. On 2 wheels colors out on the 1 and out on the 3. Blake trying to slide on up to the 2 spot. Decided not to give a little elbow love in that 1st corner. Going to go Madden and Blankenship out on the 1, 2. Blake back to the 3 spot. A little bit of airtime in and out of turn number 2. Still Madden and Blankenship out on the 1, 2. Back down the line, single file, nice and easy space all the way back to the line. Going to go Madden for the 1 spot on the night. Blankenship out of Topeka, going to grab at the overall 2 spot. Blake for the 3s.
Ready, watch the gate.
Svoboda, Novotny, Nash, 1, 2, 3 as we go down through the 1st straightaway. 45 is the motor number on our 41 to 45-year-old experts. Got Svoboda, Novotny, they're going to go 1, 2 as we come out of turn number 1. Nash back to the 3 spot. Nash, Novotny been on the battle all night long. A little bit of, did they rub front tires? It was close. I don't know if they touched, but it sure was close. Gospa, Boda, Novotny, Nash, 1, 2, 3 as we go down through the 3rd straightaway in that order. Team USA sitting out front right now. Nash all over the back wheel. Novotny trying to find a way on up in the program for the 1 spot. Oh, 2's all the way back to the line. Going to go Spike, Nash, Novotny. That'll be your overall on tonight.
Watch the gate.
Last one of the evening. 46 is the moto number. Got Grandma Mary Wallace, Keith Skeeter Woolery, and Corey Brown. Purple Heart Racing Colors sitting out front right now. That's Brown in and out of turn number 1. Going to grab up a hole shot. We don't have any money for you, but we'll say you got the hole shot. Makes it sound cool. Down through the 2nd straightaway. Got Brown, Woolery, 1, 2. Grandma Mary Wallace back to the 3 spot. Total points racing on this one. What you're seeing out of them right now is how they've been running all night long. All the way back to me. That's how it's going to go. Got Corey Brown going to come home for the overall 1 spot. Keith Skeeter Woolery for the Bicycle Shack going to grab up the 2 spot. Mom Mary for a 3. That'll do it, everybody, for a Friday night out here at Blue Springs BMX. Thank you all for coming out. I heard Darby over here on the 1st straightaway, so I know that setup's closed for the night. Kona Ice is still out there going strong. Your kiddos need a little last second